publishing books.
Do you work with a musician at all? Because some of your stuff sounds as if it really would make good songs.
Oh, thank you. I actually am a musician. I play guitar. I played guitar for since freshman year for me, so about 4 years now. And I took singing lessons for about 2 years. But then my singing teacher had to go back to college, or she went back to college by choice. And so I'm just back with guitar. And yeah, so I really love that a lot. It's pretty much been like my solid extracurricular activity that like I've kept up with over the years. And I just love music and everything about it. You know, my bands are like my life, you know. So I go by, and, you know, when I'm feeling upset, I listen to my music, and, you know, you kind of develop a bond like that with the artist that you listen to, because I take it very seriously. That's what I was thinking when I was writing my book, you know. When kids are upset, or when anyone's upset, really, you know, if they, you know, every time you go listen to music, you know, you can pick up my book through find a piece of writing that you can really relate to the same way. You get such like a powerful link, I think, that, and, you know, I think only art can do that. It's pretty incredible.
You might try, you know, just playing around with it and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. I do songwriting, but I like to keep the song separate from the poetry, just because, like, when I get an idea in mind, the first thing is, like, do I want this to be a song, or do I want this to be a poem? And, you know, I've still been writing, and I have plans to have a new book out, and, you know, I feel like I have my, like, poetic identity now, and I feel like I know what a poem for me is going to sound like, and what it's going to be, and then what I want the song to be.
Great.
Thank you.
I can't help adding, his grandfather was working on him to turn some of those poems into music. I think that'd be awesome. But we've had that conversation a couple times, but I do respect the fact that you like to keep the song.
Maybe sometime in the future, just play with even one of them. See what happens.
I always wanted to make like an audio book or something. I thought that was really cool. I mean, one thing, my mom actually had the idea. I need to give her credit. I wish I had thought of it, because it's such a great idea. But, you know, if I did an audio book to, you know, have me reading some of the poems, but to also get other people to read, you know, different ones, because I wrote it for people, so to have people's voice in it, you know, not just my own.
Or even just have some music in the background.
Yeah, you know, even play around with that, so like, that's definitely a future possibility, but, you know, for the moment, realistically, financially wise, I'm just thinking about the books, you know.
Well, one of your book signings, you played the guitar, and that was cool.
Yeah, I do like
that. Was cool, and did that, you did it with a little tune. That was creative.
Thank you.
So did you self-publish your book also?
Yes. I went actually, I'm jealous, your way sounds a lot easier. I published through a self-publishing company called Expo, and how it worked is, way back when I was looking around, I had to check out all these sites, and, you know, you have to double check nowadays, because you're going to pay money to have something done, you want to make sure it's legitimate. You know, getting your copyright issues and everything, they're not going to touch your work and all that, so there's a lot of fine print reading and, you know, boring stuff that I knew that once I got through, I could even fun stuff like this. And so when I bought the slot for this book, I actually bought 2 slots. So I was, you know, I knew I was going to have a second book out, you know, eventually. That thing was always there. They didn't have time restraints on it, which was great, because I hate being pressured to write. I mean, just, you know, go watch TV or something. I don't like people riding my back to do stuff like that. So it's nice, and, you know, I finally have, there's 50 poems in Lost But Not Without Hope. And in the new book, which is titled The Brighter Side of Hell, I'm going to be having another 50 poems. And I'm looking to have that out within the next couple months. You know, if all goes well, there's so much college stuff and the ending of the year, and, you know, I'm a senior, so it's like fun crap I have to deal with. But, you know, it gets done.
What do you plan on majoring in college? Do you have a...
Yes, actually.
If you choose to share.
Of course. For a long time, the original idea I hadn't realized, and I always feel awful for not crediting my therapist in this, is she always wanted me to write, you know, not like poems, but, you know, just write in a journal, like, write down your thoughts, Dakota, and I was just like, that's so much work, people just like crying in the corner. And so I didn't realize this until, you know, after it was all published, and, you know, she's a real big inspiration. She's been my therapist, you know, for years, on and off, and, you know, over the past couple of years, more straightforward as I was going through different things. And, she's just been a huge driving force in, like, my life and an inspiration to me, and I actually want to major in psychology, and I want to be a private practice therapist, and I want to eventually open up my own little business where it's just me, you know, I'm just talking, you know, regular old therapy. I don't want to deal with medication. I've been on and off different medications, and it's very tiring. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes behind it, like chemical imbalances when you're clinically depressed and whatnot, that, you know, sometimes you need that little boost. And it sucks, really, you know, and it makes it really hard, but I'm always a firm believer that, you know, when you can get over that hump, there's so much that you're capable of, and you have, like, belief in yourself and faith in oneself. So I want to, you know, help instill that in people, and I want to get the proper training, and I really want to specialize in young adults, because, you know, I'll talk to a lot of people who have, you know, one of my friends who went through similar things that I've been through, and their therapists, they haven't liked it. They've just been so, I don't know, so stereotypical, you know. I don't want to be like the classic boring therapist. Makes you lie down and like, so how does that make you feel? I want to, you know, put, you know, I think, I don't like to talk about myself a lot, and I don't like to give myself credit when I should give myself a little more credit, but I think I'd be good doing that, and I really like helping people and talking to people. That's, you know, the main point about writing is just to make a difference. Have other people be inspired to make their own differences.
Well, write a dedication to your therapist, you know, the next one.
Yes, I will, definitely. She's going to get something special, definitely.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, psychology would be my major that I'm focusing on.
Thank you.
Did you write when you were in high school?
Oh, I did. And I wrote songs. And I played folk guitar. And we had hoop nannies. We literally got together at a friend's house and sat around the living room floor on the carpet. Probably was shag at that time. And we played. I just knew chords C, F, and G7 when I started, just 3 chords. But you know, you can play almost anything with C, F, and G7. Yes, and I wrote, actually I remember first writing in 5th grade when another red-haired Irish boy was in my class, and his name was Tommy, not Danny Boy, Tommy Boy. And he and I used to write poems competitively. So if it was Easter, we were writing about bunny rabbits, because if we wrote really well, our 5th grade teacher would read that poem to the class at the end of the day. Sometimes she would read mine, and sometimes she would read Tommy's. Sometimes she wouldn't read either one. Very well. But that's when I remember beginning to be a writer. And I wrote all through high school, and I have a few of my songs are in this book, in the back of the book. One that I wrote when I was going steady with my husband, Greg, and he was thinking about being engaged rather than going steady. And I wrote a song about that. What is this endless cyclic action? It went on and on like that. And it's in the book, I owned up to it. But I also added to it when I was a little more mature, about maybe 58 or 59 or so. And I turned that, will it ever start to end, cycle into a spiral. And we grew together in the spiral. So that book is in it. That poem is in it. I like writing. When I taught writing, unfortunately, it was one of the first years that they brought MCAS on the scene in Massachusetts schools. I was an English teacher at the time with 6th graders, and I would always tell them, now, in your elementary classes, these are grown-up 6th graders now, they would look at me, and I'd say, you know, I don't want to read your rough draft. I want you to read your rough draft, and I want you to have someone else read your rough draft, and then give me your second draft. So when you get to a second draft, then I want to read it with you, or have you read it to me. And then they would hear their voice in their writing, or my voice in their writing. And then we would work on making it even better. That was always my phrase, that writing is never done. One of my first professional writings was to write for the Phi Kappa Phi professional journal, which was a multidisciplinary journal. And so it was honoring, the Honor Society itself honored the top some percentage of the graduating class in state schools, in regular schools. So it's like the Phi Kappa Phi is the Phi Beta Kappa of state schools. And I was lucky enough to be in that when I was in Salem State. And then I became a writer for their journal, and I wrote columns. And every time I sent a column, at the time there was no email, and so I would have to put it in an envelope and put it in the post office. And every time I let go of the envelope, I thought of one more thing that I wanted to fix, but it was already in the mailbox. And I said, at some point, you have to put out your writing. You have to let it go. I'm not thinking of that song, Let It Go. You have to let it be seen by others and live with it. And whatever you write is still going to be someplace in print 100 years from now. So you need to make it even better, as well as you can. And they would accept that. It's not easy for a kid in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, when they're really just beginning to question themselves. Before that, they were king of the mountain in the elementary school. And all of a sudden they're in middle school. And then all of a sudden they're facing high school. But I would tell them, especially my 7th graders, you are in a cocoon. And the end of 7th grade, all the brain function that you know you had in elementary school will come back to you because your hormones will settle down. And in 8th grade, you will open your wings and you will be ready when you get to high school, because it's a big world and you'll be able to fly as long as you keep making it better as you go along. And they could understand that, they could work with that. And it worked for them for their writing too. Any other questions?
What is your book that you said you had the color pictures of the quilts? Now, is that fiction or nonfiction?
It's my first fiction. Everything I've written up to then has been nonfiction. This is the story of 2 octogenarians. It's basically Rick and I 15 years from now. It's a woodworker, which is Rick, and it's a quilter. And she had some physical issues, but they haven't come up in the story yet. They're in their 80s. They've been married 60 years. And they've opened a quilt shop in his wooden toy shop, which coincidentally is what Rick and I have just done this year. So I have a quilt shop, my lifelong, wow, I wish I could make my own work hours, set my own vacation, and we can because we're retired now. And you know, you never can get laid off. It's really good. The first 5 years of teaching, I was laid off every year. That's right. But now we can never be laid off from our pension. It's really good. So we opened our shop. So the story is, it begins with describing who Helen and Henry are through conversation, and the reader gets to know them. But the second half of that book is an annotated quilt journal of mine, about 30 of my quilts through the years, and who I made them for and why I made them, told conversationally. And that's where the color pictures came in. So that's kind of a collector's first edition. The second and third and fourth part of the mystery series won't have the full range of color photographs, and will be much more reasonably priced.
Is this a mystery?
It is a mystery.
Oh.
And in the first book, the mystery is not solved. It's called a cliffhanger.
That's right. So then someone will be sure to buy the second mystery.
That's right. The title is The Quilter's Quarters. And I have it with me tonight. I can find it if someone wants to pick it up. And the next one, the second one will be called Winter Wonder in the Quilter's Quarters. So I've given myself until next November to finish writing. Think you'll write fiction?
Oh, I love to, but like I said, I get so, I always have these great ideas, because I'm such like I love like crazy fiction, like fantasy, or I'm not really huge into sci-fi, but I love movies too. That's another art that has really grown on me. I've watched so much movies. I have Netflix, so I can get like a bajillion free movies and just waste away time. And I love thought-provoking movies and just badass, cool movies too. And I'd always wanted to write a book that captures these cool characters. And the first writing I ever remember really doing is back when I pretended I could draw. I wanted to be a comic book artist, and at the time when I was working on my drawing, I'm like, well, if I'm making any very drawing, I can work on the writing, and you gotta have like a script for a comic too. So I started writing, and I think I never finished it, which is very sad to me, but it was long, and I think I got at least like 50 chapters in of like, not each chapter was like 5 pages, and it was written like what I thought a play script would be like, with actions and brackets and the words, the characters' names and what they would say. And I had all these images in my head. I was always so sad that I could never translate it to pictures. And I'm quite sure if I could draw, I would publish a comic before this, because it was right on the trail, and I had the ending and I had all these great things, and I'm heavily inspired by like Japanese artwork and like manga and anime and such like that. That cool action style I've always gone to. But,
I don't remember how old you were, but it's very interesting. You were writing a book about ducks.
Oh, yeah. That was my first
5, 6, 8, 10. It was weird. We were going, hey, what are you doing, pal? I'm writing a book. You're writing a book.
All right. I remember this now. So, back when I was younger, my favorite animal was a duck. And I thought they were so cool and cute, and they just had everything. They could swim, they could fly. They had it set up for a cool, action hero. And looking back, it was, I didn't intend it, but it's like a spoof of Batman almost, like an Adam West style, like Batman spoof. And I wish I could find where I kept them, but I created a superhero called Super Ducky. And he lived in a mansion, and he'd have a duck signal in the sky. And he had I think his name was Little Ducky, and he wore just the same suit but blue. And they were just scribbled drawings of ducks, because I can't draw, so I was even younger. But it was acceptable back then because I was young. As time went on, I kept realizing, all right, the age of this, it's not cute anymore, it's just sad. Maybe I should think about my writing career. But I was just thinking about that the other day. I think I tried to make trading cards. I made all these ones and I laminated them for some friends, and we got maybe one series of trading cards in before I'm this is way too much work. I was like, how do they do this with Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff? I used to think they'd cut them out manually.
Dakota Mom.
So many jokes I could do there. So some poems I've written, some fiction stuff, and I try to get into that. And I have some ideas in my head, and I really just need to. My biggest problem is motivation. At this point in my life is getting down and motivated. Poetry is kind of my easy way out, because I can get my thoughts in a couple pages. But when you have a book, you got to plan it out. You got to have so much element, and I can't be so punky with it. There's structures that are more important as where to pull a grade, and just throw these words here and there, and have some stanzas there. I'm a very laid back writer. I don't have the structural training that the professionals have, but I think that adds to my style, maybe.
Well, since you're published, you are professional. Anytime you pay for something, it automatically makes you a professional.
I suppose that's a good way to look at it. Any other questions?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.